We are live and
Live.
tired.
Live.
And I've remembered to mute the YouTube page tonight so I don't hear myself back in like 30 seconds.
Proud of you.
Yeah, 5:30 in the morning. I think we're tired. Fitz, you're just after coming back from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. What was the end of that like?
The end was actually okay. People didn't shit all over the ending. They were quite happy with the ending.
No, but I mean the main event in general.
Oh, I don't know really. I was kind of watching the beach balls. And the security's attempt to try stop the beach balls. And that this is awful chance, the CM Punk chance. There was many others that are not coming back to memory right now.
Things like a few people have said that it was that main event. They liked that main event. I have seen a few people on Twitter, and my mate Chicken said it as well. He enjoyed the main event. Personally, it was just finisher, suplex, finisher. It was like no story there.
It's not your main event of the biggest show of the year.
Exactly.
Can we do a quick straw poll here? I know we take the piss out of Dipper Dog a lot, but okay, Gordo, we'll do the normal thing. Who do you think should have won that match? I'm going to move around then.
The big dog.
Nick,
The big dog.
Fitz, your friend.
Oh no, Lesnar should have won that, and I'm delighted he did. I called this a while back. I did call it.
Then why did you put in your prediction that Roman Reigns is going to win?
Because I wanted to win the predictions. No, I think this was the right call.
It's the right call if Lesnar is immediately dropping it to someone else.
Like I said on Raw, he'll be dropping it after a Heyman turn. So we'll find out in 24 hours, I suppose.
That's it.
Joe.
I think it's the one time at the end of Mania I wanted to hear dun dun. Dun, dun.
I have to say the blood really added to the ending.
Yeah, that was a serious cut he had.
It
Was
How
it an
did he get
elbow?
cut?
It was elbow. You got elbowed.
Or bladed?
No, it was real.
elbowed.
No, hard way.
Yeah.
He got
Randy
Orton.
Orton style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was planned though. That's the thing.
No, it didn't look like it.
So as we mentioned, it built for the year like this story that that nobody could kick out of the F5. Roman kicked out of 3 in a row, and they have to wonder why people don't like the guy. It's like, who kicks out of 3 F5s back to back, then a German suplex, then get an F5 through the table, and then another German suplex, then another F5, and he kicked out again.
Shaft. Oh, sorry, Roman. Sorry, Roman.
Rory in the chat here for the YouTube page is saying he thinks it was a blade job.
He thinks it was a blade job.
The blade being Brock's elbow, like.
The point of the elbow.
I don't know. There was a lot of blood.
Yeah,
He couldn't just in the hairline.
Yeah, they showed a replay, and it definitely looked hard way to me anyway.
Yeah. Well, as Rory said to me as he slid into my DMs, she's like, "Oh, WWE, you make it so hard to like you." I don't know. I suppose will we kind of quickly go through the card?
Yeah, we'll burst through it.
Yeah, because I need to go to bed.
Yeah. Who watched the pre-show?
This guy.
The matches.
Yeah, Fitz was there live, so he kind of had to watch the pre-show.
Do a very quick recap of it there, and we'll move on to the actual card.
Men's Battle Royal. The only good thing about it was Bray Wyatt showed up and saved the day for Matt Hardy, so he's now woken Bray Wyatt. That was quite cool. A face turn, I'm going to call it.
It was in a way. It was the shot of Wyatt down on his knees and Hardy behind him doing the delete was great.
Yeah, like that was a fantastic scene.
It was fantastic.
The cruiserweight match between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali was class.
Yeah, really good.
I believe they did a frame-in-frame on the network. People were giving
They
out
did.
credit.
They did an ad for, I think it was Lesnar and
The Rousey one. Was the Rousey one during this?
I can't remember. They did it during the women's battle royal as well.
But that was awful because the match was class. There was legitimate and deserving. This is awesome chance going around. That match should have been on the main card.
Definitely.
Cedric won, thankfully. And then we had the hot mess that was the women's battle royal. Literally one of the worst spectacles I've seen in my entire life.
It must have come across worse on live than in TV. It looked fine on TV. I didn't mind it at all.
To be fair, I didn't realize that Naomi wasn't eliminated though.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they're really bad at calling
They fucked up
eliminations.
some of the camera. The camera shots were terrible all night.
No one in the arena knew about it either.
Mm.
Did you not hear
Yeah.
the pop for when everyone thought Bailey had won?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No one in the arena knew either.
No.
So in that respect, they did that well, but why?
Anyway, we moved on to the main card, and Jojo told us Chloe and Halle, who have been described as the future of music.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
If that's the future of music,
Did you not hear the Who chants coming from the crowd?
I thought they just released a lot of vowels as part of the start.
it's like a John Woo movie, except not with doves. Intercontinental title kicks off the show, and Seth Rollins becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. Bad call.
I won't say bad call. Like in this case, I didn't really mind who won out of the three guys. I personally would have given it to Balor, but that's preference.
I think I would have given it to Balor just because I think he needs it more. I don't think Rollins needs it.
What do we think of Balor's Byler entrance?
The story is becoming true. Stephanie McMahon wants an LGBT character, and it looks like it's going to be Balor.
By the looks of it, anyway. Oh, I wonder how Caddy Kelly feels about all this.
I don't know.
I'll console her. It's okay.
But yeah, I was disappointed there was no demon entrance, especially when he was last out. I was like, oh, they're definitely doing a demon entrance here.
The demon is dead for a while, lads.
Yeah,
Gotta
it
live
seems
with
like
it.
it.
Well, he's got other demons.
Yeah. Go back to New Japan, Fergal. Seriously.
And they're in his butthole.
I did like that. There was a nice, a good tweet. I can't remember who said it now, but it was Balor being escorted to the ring by all the guys he's turned gay.
That's pretty good. As we kind of thought, the match on Raw was always going to be the better of the two.
Yeah.
But
Decent match. It was good opener. It was a good opener.
Good
Yeah,
opener.
I definitely agree with that.
Oh,
Very
exactly.
premature. This is Austin Chance again.
Yeah, well, it was a lot better than NXT last night with the "This is awesome" chant before the match had even started. That drives me mad. I know it happens a lot of places, but I'm just old.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. But anyway, SmackDown Women's Championship match. Charlotte beats the Streak. Gordo, I can see you shaking your head. You're like me here.
I honestly cannot repeat some of the words that were uttered in our living room.
I think this is atrocious.
It was
decision.
absolutely shocking. I
The
mean,
only way this would have made sense was if there was a cash in afterwards.
Yeah, but if you fast forward a little bit to later, and you can see how good Ronda is, why wasn't a year build that Ronda versus Asuka as champion undefeated next year, and Ronda could beat her?
It's what we said. Was it Lisa said it, Nikki? Someone in the room said that. Was it Lisa or was it Damo? I know someone said it later on the night, literally during the Rousey match, was how good would it have been if there was a year build of Rousey chasing Asuka.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand Charlotte's the one. When Asuka was in NXT, I figured it was going to be Charlotte that was going to break the streak. But situations change, and they shouldn't have pulled the trigger here. They should have left Asuka.
Terrible decision.
Superdome curse.
I didn't mind it.
Do you think if this was at any other venue, the streak would have lived? Do you want to? I think they want this thing.
Nah.
I can't work out the logic of it.
I think
Charlotte didn't need the streak.
Look, it was just an anti-Jap movement tonight.
Oh, Jesus.
In fairness, he's not wrong.
Not wrong.
As I said, Asuka was 914 days undefeated. And then I won't move on yet, Steve, if you're not finished.
Someone made a point on Twitter. I can't remember their handle, but sometimes streaks become a burden the longer they go on, and it makes booking hard. So if you were to go down the route of what you were saying and have the long-term booking of Asuka undefeated as a champion a year from now up against Ronda, that's a long year to try book that for. So
it's true. I mean, it was the case when Asuka was champion NXT as well. The crowd did start to turn on her for a bit because she just kept beating people, but then it turned back again before she finished up as well, though.
That's
so
because there was no good people. That's because there was no good people left at the end of it. So there was only the likes of like Nikki Cross and Gauzy Girls.
Yeah, well, it got a lot better when it was Ember Moon challenger, and Ember nearly beat her a few times.
Exactly, but I'm not upset that they broke the streak. I think it was the only way they could have broken it legitimately. So when they made the decision they were going to break it, they did it as good as they could have, I thought.
Fair enough. This one I called. Oh, sorry, Nikki. Go on.
No, you're fine.
I was going to move on to the
Move on.
the US title situation.
I'm tired. Move on.
This is the one I nailed. This is the one I nailed a week ago, and I said Jinder would pin Rusev because Rusev had 2 weeks worth of wins. Gordo, you shook your head there. You moved it back. Your thoughts? Not a good Rusev day.
It's one of the worst Rusev days of all time.
It really is.
I can't believe it. You have the convenience of WrestleMania falling on Rusev Day, and you give the title to Jinder of all people. It was. Yeah, but the match wasn't even good. I know I wasn't expecting a huge amount from it, but it was terrible. I didn't enjoy it at all. It's even Orton, who's normally good this time of year, was shite. Didn't enjoy it at all. Just
I'll be the first one to say I didn't even watch the match. When I needed a piss match, let's be honest. I was sitting in that seat for 7 hours, and this was the one time I got up to leave because I was like, this is the one match I could do without. Very nearly followed up with a second one at the Raw Women's, but I said I'd stay for Bliss. But yeah, I was literally in the queue at the bar, and you can hear the match going on in the background, and then all of a sudden you hear the 1, 2, 3 and Jinder's music hits. And the guy behind me goes, "What the fuck was that?" And everyone else around is like, "This is fucking bullshit." So like, even people who weren't watching the match knew it was bullshit. So,
but you know what? It was interesting. There wasn't any riotous chants or anything after Rusev had lost.
I felt like in the main event there really should have been Rusev Day chants instead of the CM Punk chants.
There was some as well.
It didn't come across on TV though.
I think they've successfully buried the Rusev Day movement because there was 2 ways this was going to go, and both of them were ending with Rusev taking the pin. It was either going to be like they do the Daniel Bryan thing where they beat him down to get people behind him, or they bury it and they pin him. That was the only result this match was going to have.
If they've buried him, and if they're trying to bury him, then he won't be on either Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, like I don't think this affects things either way, but this was a guarantee. This finish was guaranteed to happen, but
I don't mind. Like this was the easiest decision they had all night. Was just put the belt on Rusev.
Yeah. The give and the take away situation. Does anyone have the? I should have done the tally of the gives and the takes away or taking away.
Let's see. Give, take away, borderline, take away.
It's a whole lot of take away.
We're about even. We're about even right now.
It's like Supermax on this card, lads. What was next? This was Ronda Rousey's WWE in-ring debut. What did you think of her performance?
Great.
She was fantastic. This is one of my highlights of the night.
Yeah, Steve, in the arena, what were people talking about after this?
No, just fantastic. Like this is one of the matches they got perfectly right. Wouldn't have changed a bit of it.
Yeah. Did you like
also the longest match on the show?
Of course, it
really?
was. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H were in it.
Fuck me sideways.
What did you think of the biker entrance?
And that belt is that bell to bell longest match?
Yeah, 20 minutes 40 seconds.
Get fucked.
Did you hear Coach's comment that Ronda has never performed in front of an audience like this before in her life?
Oh, Coach, get fucked.
58,000 people in Melbourne, but whatever. She headlined.
Is this still more? It's like to point out.
Well,
I mean, WWE numbers.
The capacity they announced, or the attendance they announced tonight is higher than the official capacity of the stadium.
And there was 4 seats free next to me as well. So yeah,
I told you they were selling them in 5s.
Yeah.
Selling the tickets in 5s for $150. But at least you didn't have to buy the 5 to get a bit of legroom.
Didn't have to buy any of them.
When you go
So you're saying though that there would have been seats left for the 3 of us if we had gone.
Yeah, that's what we get Gordo for paying his way.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Scandalous.
Next year, boys. Next year.
But the accountant said I could.
But yeah, Ronda looked fantastic in the armbar finish. Dave White was in the crowd wearing a Ronda Rousey t-shirt.
Was he actually?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't know if it picked up on camera, and I said it to you in the group chat. I was like, after the match, there was the EMTs were out with Stephanie, obviously with the injury to the arm and all that sort of stuff. This was either fantastically done via kayfabe in so far as selling the injury, or she legitimately was hurt. She wasn't carried up the ramp or down the side of the ramp like everyone else who left after matches. She was brought straight out past the commentary under the hard cam out the arena that way, which no one else went out of. So I thought that was just fantastic. So either she was legitimately injured, which is a severe possibility, let's be honest, or it was some great kayfabe work.
There's probably some Make-A-Wish kids outside that she had to go that way to meet first.
Speaking of which,
you know,
I'd say Angle looked great in this too, because based on the last two matches we've seen Angle, and when he didn't look too good, he really stepped it up for this one.
Next up, we're flying through these a little bit, but like anyone who's listening here, it's 5:45 in Ireland, lads.
Cut us some slack.
Cut us some slack.
A.M.
The SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Bludgeon Brothers captured the titles.
Bullshit.
I don't mind the results. That was fine. That's what I was expecting. But the match was very lackluster. It was 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
Is that all it was?
That's all it was.
The result was the right one.
But I was expecting so much more out of this match. I figured this was going to be possibly match of the night. I was a contender at least, and they just didn't give it the time. They just didn't have enough chance to make what they could have made out of it. I'd nearly prefer to have been on the pre-show. They would have got more time.
Exactly. You could almost say the Usos still haven't been on a WrestleMania card.
Yeah, like that was a bit of a slap in the face for the Usos in a New Day, I think.
Yeah, for what they've done over the last year, it's fucking disgraceful. Like, tag team wrestling is dead.
We've been very negative here.
Oh,
we've had a couple of positives in there.
No, because
I'm sure we have at least one more positive coming up.
Yeah, we're getting towards the really negative parts, and I feel like we haven't been positive enough.
Don't wrong, I'm happy about the result of this match. Brothers, I'm delighted for them, but you look at, and I said it to the lads, you look at the 2 out of 3 falls match that they had with the Usos 3 or 4 years back, and that was back when the Usos weren't arsed, and it was one of the best tag matches WWE have put on in decades. And now you look at what they put on Mania, it's like it doesn't make sense. But nah, fuck it all. Fuck everything.
As he takes a massive slug out of his drink there. Yeah, so next up, after the Charlotte and Asuka match, Cena had been informed by the ref that something had happened, so he got out of his chair and ran.
He left the immersion on.
No one outside of Ireland will know what an immersion is.
I don't give a shit.
Did anyone else think that this was in bad taste just after the women's match, as Charlotte is celebrating?
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Terrible timing.
I don't know. I think I was banging my head off the table, and I watched this later than you because I came into the show about 2 hours after it started, and I went back and watched bits. So I was kind of sitting there going, why did Asuka just lose this? So I kind of missed a bit of that. But anyway, there's some burial about to happen. Cena comes out, ref follows. Cena leaves the ring, and then the lights go out, and then you hear a guitar strum. So Elias comes out, starts playing the House of the Rising Sun. And were you expecting somebody else? Cena goes to the crowd while Elias sings, but then he comes back in and hits the 5 moves of doom. I don't see the value in this. What did that just do to Elias?
Trolling.
Anyway, Cena goes up the ramp. His music stops. The lights go out. We see the hat and the coat in the ring, not the cat and the hat. Lightning hits the weird 3D visuals they had all night. The stuff is gone, and then we've a gong. And the Dead Man Taker comes up from the ramp, Steve. What would they like in the arena? Did they want the Big Evil or the American Badass?
The crowd were marking out. They were happy. I wasn't.
You just
no. I was happy, obviously, until the match started. I very much enjoyed, obviously, the nostalgia feel again.
It's not like a Taker entrance at Mania, like.
Yeah.
No, but it was still a slap in the face for all the emotions I went through at the end of last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, I know they did the whole thing with the ending of last year, and they put the stuff in the ring and all that, got rid of it. Fair enough, but yeah, it should have been Biker Taker.
Yeah.
Even the match, like, I know we're going to talk about the match, but the match, even it was very limited in what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to talk too much about the match, to be honest. What was it, 3 or 4 minutes?
2 minutes, 45 seconds.
Yep.
But I have to say, Taker looked like he was moving a lot better than he did last year.
Yeah.
That new hip has really helped. So I reckon this is definitely not the last we've seen of Taker. in the ring. I reckon we're getting a Taker match at Mania next year, if not done before that.
But how much durability does a new hip have? Surely it can't be as durable as a...
New. He's like a newborn baby.
Newborn baby. We're moving on to the Raw Tag Team title match.
Fantastic segue.
Yeah. We have to go through the Hall of Fame here first.
No, we don't.
Exactly. So we're moving on to Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Cammy, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. And Daniel Bryan wins it with the yes lock. Sami Zayn taps out. Kind of what we figured.
Yeah. We'll see him on Monday Night Raw tomorrow.
Very underwhelming, the whole thing.
The fact that they took Daniel Bryan out at the start of the match and he was out of it for half the match, it was like, what people want to see is Daniel Bryan wrestling again. I know they was like, we'll hold off the suspension, but it was just people, they just wanted to see it.
Yeah, like he should have been in the ring getting beaten down for 10 minutes. That would have built the anticipation for when he erupted.
We needed to anticipate Daniel Bryan after 3 years of not having Daniel Bryan. Just like, no, just put him in the ring. Then again, it worked because we're annoyed it happened. So,
well, first they gave us the feel good moment here. Daniel Bryan got his victory at WrestleMania,
and they did do the spot that I was talking about that I didn't want to see. You know, he did the front drop kick and then he started holding his head. And then he did the Shawn Michaels kip up thing. But I feel like we should have been talking about this more. Do you know, like this?
I think, there needed to be some sort of turn or some sort of angle involved here that wasn't just a straight win and that was it.
Yeah. Well, he's probably still backstage now getting the tests because he has to have a test for the first 6 months, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So it's almost like every match could be his last at this point. Like, don't do dumb shit like fucking apron power bombs.
It's Mania, though. It's Mania.
Yeah, but that's the hardest part of the ring, Bo.
It is the hardest part of the ring. So I've heard. That's the rumor.
I never knew that. The hardest part of the ring, you say?
Yeah. Speaking of things that people didn't know, I did not know that apparently you could get WrestleMania for free on the WWE network.
Get out of town. I thought that was $9.99.
No, it's free for your first month.
Oh, full month.
How long's a month?
and what's the cost on this month? Yeah, we're not doing that bit again.
No, we've done that.
No,
you missed that last week, Vince.
It's 5 to 6 in the morning.
Yeah, let's leave it. Right. Raw Women's title.
Exactly. You go, Nikki. What do you think of this?
Carter was wearing his Nia Jax t-shirt. But this one, we said all along all week that this was going to be a quick squash match and done. This match was 10 minutes and 15 seconds. You make this a quick squash match and done, and you give that time to the fucking SmackDown tag title match.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother. Testify.
So Nia Jax overcomes her bullies and wins the title. It's not a whole lot to say about it. Steve, you're shaking your head. I saw your tweet.
What a fucking hot mess this was. And this sounds like I'm hating on the women because I've slated 2 matches. I really enjoyed the Asuka Charlotte match, but let's be honest there, that was good.
The match was really good. Just to finish.
The match was good, yeah.
Alexa Bliss tried her hardest, bless her, to put on a good wrestling match. Nia Jax just can't wrestle. And it annoys me so much to see Twitter falling all over and praising her for this win and the crowd chanting "You deserve it" to a mild reception. Just fuck off already. Just learn how to wrestle. Stop being related to The Rock or something.
I believe you can find an article about that on tubitsports.com where we delve into this in much more detail.
What's that website called again, Gordo?
It's tubitsports.com. You can also find a link for it on our Twitter account, twitter.com/2bitwrestling.
And you can find that website on the internet, I believe.
They have the internet on computers now.
Cheap plug.
Like, one final point on that match. Like, you have Alexa Bliss and you have Nia Jax taking up, 10 minutes, you said?
10-15.
In, the final hour of the show?
This was the end of the 6th hour.
Yeah.
End of the 6th hour, Jesus Christ. And you have talent like Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Becky Lynch on the pre-show. That's what fucking grinded my gears a lot. And you fucking Nia Jax taking up 10 minutes of my time when she can't fucking wrestle. Get the fuck off my TV.
You had the cruiserweight match. The cruiserweight match was on the pre-show over Nia Jax. I'm wearing the Nia Jax t-shirt right now, but I will say she should have been on the pre-show and the Cruiserweights should have been on the main card.
Yeah.
And also the US title, because Rusev was added in for absolutely no reason.
Yeah,
they should have just so that the match didn't get shit all over.
Put one of the Battle Royals on the main show.
Yeah. The Battle Royal would have been perfect between, say, Nakamura, AJ, and the main event.
Sure, the women's, since you don't want to put all like 2 women's matches on the pre-show because it looks like you buried them, put this match on the pre-show, put the women's Battle Royal in this spot, and then that would have been a lot better.
Be perfect. We'll move on to AJ Styles versus Nakamura for the WWE Championship, and the crowd, as I said here, was already hungover. We had just rolled into the 7th hour. It started off like it was like a slow Japanese build, but then it didn't go anywhere. It didn't have that long, drawn-out kick out, explosive action. It just seemed to end out of nowhere. Like, I think it was Nakamura went for a I can't say that word. Kinshasa. And AJ kind of reversed it into a Styles clash or something. I don't know how that happened, but anyway.
It was not a reversal. It was really uniquely done.
It was cool. Yeah. And then it was just 1, 2, 3. I just didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
it's cool to be caught off guard, though. Considering the ROH style of 900 finishers and 899 kickouts.
In fact, ROH, have a surprise. I thought about the Roman Reigns match.
You know what I mean? That style that goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
It was cool to be caught off guard, but it did. Maybe I'll watch it back again. And it wasn't a bad match.
I think we were all burnt out. I don't think it was a bad match either. I think it was just everyone was kind of burnt out, and it was the same. I felt the same. It felt like a slow build, and they were going to keep going and going and going. It was going to be an epic encounter. It did go 20 minutes.
No way. That didn't feel
20 minutes and 20 seconds. It was 20 seconds short of the other match.
Okay, well then it was just constructed poorly. Because that's more than enough time to do the big explosion at the end after a slow build.
It was just pace. There was a lot of pacing issues with matches tonight, I thought. Again, if you want to get the crowd invested, you have to give them something to invest in. And slow, big, powerful moves and 20 seconds of non-action straight after it is just going to kill you every time.
And what was the reaction like while it's going on? We can only hear, where they put the mics, essentially, in the arena. But what were people saying? What was the chatter?
No, the crowd were actually quiet because they were watching and enjoying. Like, it's not a case of where they were just not interested like they were for the main event.
No, that was the chatter on social media that, the crowd is dead, they hate the match, blah, blah, blah.
No, if they hated the match, you'd have heard the same sort of reaction you did for the main event, which was shitting all over it. But for this match, the crowd were quiet because they were watching for something to happen. And every time a pop happened or a big move happened, you'd heard the crowd react. But the problem was it was just so intermittent and such a time delay between each thing happening. There was no constant kind of chatter coming from the crowd. And then, like you said, we were waiting for that build up and to a crescendo, and we just didn't get it.
But what we did get is a big shock after it.
Yeah, Nakamura comes to present the belt on bended knee to AJ, and then he hits him with the ball shot. Just got that low blow.
In the dick.
And then right in the dick. I mean, it was like nailed on. You could tell. Right in the dick. And then he starts stiff kicks in the face and the neck and the chest. Yeah. Reminded me of the Nakamura match, actually. Or the Sami Zayn versus Nakamura match. With those kind of kicks when he was going to the outside. And then I think he hit the Kinshasa at the end outside as well.
Yeah.
All to no commentary. It's quite cool.
I like that. I'm interested to see where they go with this, because I've never seen Nakamura as a heel, even in New Japan. Anytime I watched him when he was in New Japan, he was always a face. So I'm not sure what he's going to be like as a heel, and I'm intrigued.
It possibly makes it more interesting as well now that you have a face-heel dynamic. So if they do have a match at Backlash, Payback, or whatever fucking one is next, then it could take a half an hour and really tell a story. But you don't start a story like that on WrestleMania. That's where you have the payoff. So I think that's what annoyed me.
So I assume Nakamura wins the next time, because that's his third title match that he's lost now.
Yeah.
It's not good. What do you think? Do you think he maybe should have won this one on the grandest stage of them all?
I think it would have been a crowning for him. I think they should have given him the win. But
I think you're a bad call.
Yeah,
it's with the heel turn, a win wouldn't have worked. I feel.
No, but I mean, you just don't do any of that. He just wins it, and you don't need that thing at the end, the angle, just to keep you invested for the next time. The only reason that happened, I think, is to legitimize a rematch or whatever.
I don't know. I think
I don't know about whole judgment on this until I see where they go with Nakamura as a heel.
Cool. But in general, just on the night.
Disappointed in the match. I felt it could have been a bit better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, with that hot build, you know.
To be honest, I wonder if this is Vinnie Mac's way of kind of trying to shush the indie darling fans of the WWE universe. You know,
mean beating the two Japanese superstars after their crowning moments in Royal Rumble and then shitting on them tonight.
well, that and the fact that the one match that all fans wanted to see was one of the worst matches of the night.
I wouldn't say that now.
In terms of expectation and delivery, you know, we expected a lot more than we got. And I think from that respect, it was one of the biggest disappointments.
So in fairness, the match itself probably would have been put together by the two guys for the most part, and they were given 20 minutes. So you can't put that on Vince.
I don't know. I don't know if they have that sort of freedom, the two guys, yet.
But speaking of freedom, Braun Strowman can go into the crowd and pick children out of it for a tag team partner.
This was fantastic.
It was terrible.
It was amazing.
It came across so well on TV, dude.
Steve, you just don't get it. You weren't a follower of Nicholas when he was on the Indies, okay?
970 springboard splash.
Yeah, wait till you see his 970 springboard. Just typical WWE, they're going to ruin him.
God,
what did I just watch?
He's going to be marked down to a 330 now. Like, jeez.
Bet sure they're going to change his name now.
God.
Call him Bartholomew.
One of the best things, Twitter was fucking amazing after this match.
That's just Twitter gold.
The Tommy Dreamer tweet where he turned around and said how he's outraged because Nicholas didn't have to submit his blood to the Louisiana State Athletic Commission.
No wellness as well. Classic part-timer. Didn't need to go through the wellness policy. The kid looked, he's either a really good actor or he was genuinely frozen in fear on the ropes. He kept breathing heavily and didn't know what to do or say or move. But Steve, you definitely didn't like this.
No, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm not a fan of pantomime fucking shite.
You're a wrestling fan. That's exactly what you are.
Exactly.
No. I like the wrestling show. Wrestling.
It's entertainment.
No. Hey, get fucked. Get fucked. Like I said in the tweet, if I get this opportunity again next year, I'm going to NXT and I'm not going to Mania, so you can all go fuck. I fucking sat there. I sat there for 7 to 8 hours or whatever the fuck. It felt like a day, and it was just. I was watching this, and everyone around us were just like, "Oh, this is going to take forever. Just get in the ring." And I love the screenshot that someone shared on Twitter of Sheamus's face. Like that's the new CM Punk confused face guy. It's just like, huh?
I personally, on TV, this came off fantastic. This was my moment of the night. It's between this and the Rousey match for me as moment of the night.
It was funny that he walked past No Way Jose and loads of the UK competitors as well, and he didn't pick any of them. He picked the kid,
Nicholas.
The funny thing was when this happened, social media was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous," and we were expecting a meltdown, but everyone just decided it was funny, and the tweets are flying and they're very good. But Braun and Nicholas are the tag team champions.
Do you reckon they just wanted to set a record for the youngest champ in WWE history?
I think so.
They definitely said it anyway.
That's never going to be broken.
Is he going to be on Raw tomorrow? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Is he going to have to go on the road with Strowman now?
Yeah, Braun is taking a child and he's going to raise him as his own.
Oh, lads.
I want vignettes.
Brainwave, fucking AOP are coming up to Raw tomorrow and are defeating Braun Strowman for the titles.
And Nicholas.
And Nicholas. Nicholas is getting hit with a super collider.
He's taking the table.
I'm still pretty sure. I don't think Sean Ross Sapp agrees with me, but I'm pretty sure that is the kid that the Young Bucks super kicked.
And Matt Jackson posted a picture about it, or a GIF of it as well.
No, I will point out, I did call it before I saw that GIF because Nikki was here to witness it. I called it. But it was weird. It was weird but amazing.
It happened. Speaking of things that happened, Roman versus Brock. Brock, as we said, hit 6 F5s in total. Roman kicked out of 5 of them.
One on a table.
One on a table. As we know, amplifies the power.
Of course.
What is it? By plus 15, I think it is. We've already talked about it at the top of this. I don't know. Who can beat Brock now? Samoa Joe tomorrow?
Like Joe's the only one I can see because unless Strowman maybe, but he's now in a popular tag team.
You can't break up the team of Strowman and Nicholas.
I really wanted there to be a We Want Nicholas chant in the main event. I really wanted.
There was.
Was there? TV. That's fantastic.
I've called it already. What's going to happen is fucking Heyman is going to screw Brock tomorrow, and Reigns is going to win the belt.
My God,
I wouldn't mind that, but they just need to get it off Lesnar right now.
Yeah, that has to happen yesterday.
Are you not happier that Lesnar won though?
No.
Nah.
I was shocked that Lesnar won. So it was a feeling I got at the end of the show, but it just makes no sense for Lesnar to go on that because he's had it for a year and done nothing with it.
Are they trying to break CM Punk's record well, not the record, but CM Punk's reign of 434 days?
They won't go that far. That's another.
Well, he's at 371.
4 months.
Yeah.
He's at 371. It's only 2 months.
He's got 6 months left on his deal as well.
434 is the target.
Yeah, but it's a different horse, Ted.
It doesn't matter.
Shark. Yeah, no, they need. Once again, you thought maybe we'll get to Mania. That'll be it. But now Raw again has the absentee champion. Now what? I don't get what any of these decisions lead to. At least there's kind of a door open with Nakamura and AJ.
And with Strowman and Nicholas.
And Strowman and Nicholas, of course.
The new powerhouse tag team. The new power and glory.
Brand new calendar starts tomorrow, lads.
That's it. Like that's the thing. After Mania, whatever, Addy, you can say whatever you want after Mania until you've seen the Raw and SmackDown. That's what sets the year. Yeah. So we'll know over the next couple of days what their plans are going forward for next year.
Is Asuka going Raw or SmackDown now?
I'm assuming Raw. She didn't win the title, and she's been on Raw consistently since she went for the SmackDown title. So I assume she's still on Raw. There's going to be a brand split soon, or a reshuffle anyway. So it's all going to get
on Raw and SmackDown.
Oh yeah, I reckon Ember SmackDown.
Look, it's Raw. It's Nia Jax Asuka feud. It's what was rumored.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But lads, on the bright side, WWE are still listening to reading my articles. We had a video at the end recapping the whole show to music.
We did. That was good. Nakamura's entrance was cool as well.
It was. That was really good. With the
Cesaro. That was last.
I don't know if it fits. They said it on copy. The one who's doing the guitar for Nakamura is Alice Cooper's guitarist. Alice Cooper was in Mania 3, so run back
many moons ago.
Yeah, I would say the Bardi Gras intro was cool as well.
Yeah. We had that hurricane comment though.
Oh, Corey.
You could
what
tell.
Was it?
You could tell that they realized something had gone wrong. You could tell it in Corey's voice afterwards if you listen back to it. So the bar coming out, like paraphrasing, can't remember exactly what it is, but it was like Corey was like, "I need a hurricane" or something like that. Now I assume that means a drink.
It's a drink. Yeah.
Yeah, his exact word was, someone get me a hurricane quick.
Yeah, he meant the drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course he did. It's just like I just went, "Oh no."
We're not doing phrasing. We're not doing phrasing anymore.
Phrasing. Social media, if they latch onto this.
Which we did.
So overall, Gordo, what did you make of the whole show?
I don't understand. No, like the match quality for the most part was actually okay. Like the Rousey match was match of the night for me, without a doubt.
I think so.
Moment of the night was for me was the Nicholas thing because it was just so fucking bizarre. I still maintain with this whole thing, they're trying to out Bizarro tomorrow's Bizarro world, which is the Raw. I reckon they're trying to out Bizarro the Raw after Mania, and that this is all just a giant episode of fucking Swerved or something.
Gordo, that's the most bizarre night of the year. It's when they cheer the people they like and they boo the people they
Well,
want.
all I can say is if that is going to be if that's going to be the most bizarre night of this year, I cannot fucking wait because they've set the bar pretty fucking high tonight.
The bar.
We are the bar. Yeah.
It wasn't a bad show. There was some bad moments, but there were some really good moments. So I'm gonna put it as a solid B+. Ding.
Steve, you were there for 8.5 hours.
Felt like more. Jesus Christ. Highlights. You have Ronda Rousey was my highlight. Definitely that match. Definitely was the moment of the night. Cedric Alexander in the 205 match was definitely probably my favorite match of the night from a wrestling perspective. Followed closely by the IC and SmackDown Women's, and a lot of disappointments. But I'm very sober right now, so that's probably why.
That's the first mistake you made.
I wasn't going paying $12 for a beer, so you know.
I feel like they went out of their way to fuck the bookies.
Yeah,
and the fans,
just with the results. Like the matches were all pretty grand. Out. The results is what was bizarre, as Gordo said about the show. Like for the most part, the matches were decent enough quality. There's no real issues. With a couple of really good ones, but it was just the booking, the end results of the matches is what was confusing.
Yeah, and just flat out bad decision making and weird placement of matches. And this excuse of, you have to wait and see where they're going in 6 months. You're like, well, this is the end of the road here. We start afresh again. This is the end of a lot of stories, even if the stories are only built for 2 weeks or whatever. It's not like the way it used to be where that was but anyway. I don't know. I didn't feel this at all. I didn't like the show at all. Just, there wasn't a whole lot. I liked the Ronda Rousey match. I think Balor should have went over. Rusev should have went over, Nakamura should have went over, and Roman should have went over. And Asuka. A lot of bad decisions made.
Yeah, it's bad calls. So the matches themselves are fine though. That's the thing, it's just the calls.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And that's the most important thing.
But yeah, there's our very enthusiastic post show.
At least it wasn't the biggest night of the year, so that's that,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's loads more big shows to come.
But lads, it's Raw after Mania tomorrow.
Yeah, Beach Ball Mania starts early though.
That's the real
Mania.
So we've Samoa Joe coming back, Big Cass, a few of them, isn't there? A few people cleared. Jeff Hardy, good few people cleared for tomorrow night.
They've officially applied for the trademark on the name Colin Cassidy again. So they may be distancing themselves further from the Enzo situation.
Even though the rumor has surfaced that it is just a rumor, but that Enzo's case has been dropped.
Yeah, but he's not coming back.
No.
But yeah, they're distancing themselves from it, so Cass is going to get his name back. A rare case where someone actually gets their full name back.
No, they'll rebrand him as just Colin.
Colin, yeah.
Looking forward to the big return of Colin tomorrow.
But we mentioned rumors. The rumor of people, I've seen a few people say online, of possibly splitting Mania into a 2-day show.
Oh, fuck off.
No.
Nope.
Wouldn't have as long a show. You wouldn't be sitting there for 7 hours.
You would over the course of 2 nights. You'd be sitting there for 9 hours.
Exactly. I'd rather get fucked for 7 hours in one night than 4.5 hours 2 nights in a row.
And he should know because he gets fucked by Nia Jax a lot.
I think that'd be an awful idea.
That the fact that the night ran so long tonight alone is too much. Like a 2-hour pre-show with a 4-hour show is fine, but what was it? 2-hour pre-show and a 5.5-hour show.
I don't think you need. I know I've banged on about you don't need the pre-show and you don't need 6-hour shows or 5. What was it? 5 hours. 4-hour show was
That's what I'm
always
saying.
enough.
If you make it a 2-night thing, you can just do regular pay-per-view times, like because you have double. So you'd do a regular 1-hour pre-show for 3-hour, maybe 3.5-hour main show each night.
They wouldn't be able to restrict themselves to that.
No.
They see 2 nights. They see 2 nights of what we had tonight.
Yeah. And they have 943 people under contract.
Yeah.
And the bus flip has to happen sooner or later because that's the result of this. There's too many people under contract.
Did you see how many people were in the ring for the Battle Royals?
Yeah. There's dozens of people there that aren't over and aren't making them any money. And I don't know why they're still there. Yet we have to deal with 7-hour shows just to get them a payday. Get rid of them.
It's the live events. They keep the live events going.
I know, but
When you think about it, though, like look through the card, how many, we say, part-timers are on this card compared to what you usually would have?
that's true.
There wasn't that many, like.
Just Taker, Cena, Brock. That's about it.
Angle trips.
But they're
yeah.
they're TV. They're essentially full-time TV at the moment. But
That's the thing, we didn't have much part-timers on the show.
No, but did Americans win every match?
Jinder isn't American.
Jinder.
Oh, Jinder.
Canadian.
Well, Canadian. Yeah. No, I forgot about Jinder. Sorry, I tried to blank that from my fucking mind.
And we don't know the ethnicity or nationality of Nicholas.
But how many Japs won tonight?
None. No Irish.
And that's revenge for Pearl Harbor.
We played the long game here.
That was a long time now.
God, that is out, right?
And we're gone off YouTube. We'll have to go back to square one to try and get that name, boys.
Can't you believe you, Logan Paul, the whole company?
Okay, go eat Tide Pods for yourself. Go on.
Hey, I set this up. I can take it all down.
You're doing a good fucking job of it. Fair play to you.
I think that's a good way to leave the finish. Let's go to fucking bed.
Go home, Fitz. You're drunk.
Someone do the plugs for me there, will you?
You follow us on twitter.com/2bit wrestling, facebook.com/2bit sports. Check everything out on 2bitsports.com. You'll find us on YouTube by searching 2bit sports because they still don't have a thingy, my Bobby Yogi.
we won't either.
At this stage, we won't.
We may have a new one after this. So
You'll also find us on all podcast apps like iTunes, Podcast Addict, Podbay, whatever,
Stitcher.
everything. Yeah,
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, all those things that people find podcasts on, and do things like, subscribe, and all that jazz.
wrestling.
Am I forgetting something?
No, just that comment.
Pearl Harbor.
Little bit more.
Miss you.
Anyway, we've tentatively planned to go live tomorrow night after the Raw after Mania, but we'll see. Yeah, that yawn says it all.
Sorry.
I'm gonna
Go to sleepy. It's fucking 6:20, all right?
You have to go.
It's 6:20
I
in
have
the
to go watch
morning.
Ring of Honor now.
Oh, I have to say, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I still haven't finished the main event, but we'll see.
Okay, I won't spoil anything. Right. Thank God that's over.
We're such positive people, lads. No wonder Gordon love listening to us.
Hey, Gordo, I'm not just sure. I'm HIV positive.
Hey.
Jesus Christ. Fitz.
Oh, you're on fire tonight.
You are on straight. Well, clearly it's the HIV.
Straight.
This might be on the podcast feed in the next hour. If it isn't, it means I'm in bed. Do it in the morning. But anyways, thanks very much for joining us, and see you later. Say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye,
Taking
boys.
away toys.
Nice.
Slaughter.
Ah.